listening to the IELTS podcast. Learn from tutors and ex-examiners who are masters of IELTS preparation. Your host, Ben Worthington.
Advanced IELTS speaking techniques. In this tutorial, we're going to look at emphatic structure. Now, there's two parts to this tutorial. The second part, we're going to look in detail at inversion, but that's coming in a week or so. Now, in this tutorial, we're going to look at, you will learn the importance of emphatic structure. And this will help you in your IELTS exam because you'll be able to develop a range of complex structures for the exam in parts 1, 2, and 3. Now, this is an excellent way to raise the level of your English. And what I like about it is that it's quite formulaic. It's once you learn the formula and you've got hold of the formula, you can apply it to any situation. So no matter what the examiner asks you, you can apply this formula and give quite a sophisticated answer. In this case, it's quite sophisticated emphatic structure. What we're going to focus on first is using cleft sentences for emphasis. Now, a cleft sentence is a sentence which is in two parts because it's got two verbs. And this helps you add emphasis, which is very useful for the IELTS speaking exam. Now, in the exam, you are going to be asked about things you like, or something you do, or something that you did. And cleft sentences are perfect. Now, imagine you get asked what you like to do in your free time. You can say, well, I really like going to the cinema with my friends. Or the more sophisticated way would be to say, what I really like is going to the cinema with my friends. Now, with the second sentence, we've emphasized the information we want our listener to focus on. And it demonstrates that you can use a more complex structure to communicate more effectively. So the form these cleft sentences take are, we can use what clauses, or we can say the reason why, or the thing that, the person who, the place where, the time which, or the time when. So I'll give you an example. I feel most content in my family home. Now that's a normal sentence. If we want to make it an emphatic sentence, we can say, the place where I feel most content is my family home. Now, grammatically, what we've done here is we've put the person, place, or the thing we're talking about at the beginning of the sentence. And then we use the verb to be. Here's some more examples. What I like the most is summer. The reason that I'm learning English is to get a job in hospitality. The place where I most enjoyed going was to my grandparents' house. The people I try to avoid are ones who are too cynical. The thing restaurants need to remember is that not everyone eats meat. The music that I hate the most is modern jazz. Now, you can see from those last 4 examples, we use the same structure and use this structure to express a more emotional response. So the verbs that we can use which are quite frequent in these types of sentences are enjoy, dislike, adore, hate, like, loathe, love, need, prefer, want. So these are the ones that kind of display or show our feelings. Let's look at how we can apply this technique for IELTS Speaking Part 1. Now, in IELTS Speaking Part 1, as you know, you're going to be asked about yourself. It's going to be topics that you can easily answer because the goal is to help you feel relaxed in the exam. And because when you're relaxed, you can show your true ability. So we're going to be asked about our likes, our dislikes, maybe opinions, just questions personal about you. So we could imagine a typical question could be, what kind of music do you like? And the way we could answer this using the technique we've just explored would be, what I really enjoy the most is heavy metal. It really helps me relax. Okay. Another question could be, do you think it's better for children to grow up in the city or the countryside? That's probably more type 3 question. But anyway, the thing I like about the countryside is that it's usually more relaxed than the city centre. It's usually quieter, and personally, it just corresponds more with my personality or whatever. So the two ways we use the cleft sentence there, what I really enjoy the most, and for the second one, we said the thing I like about the countryside is. Yeah. Now let's have a look at how we can use this in part 2. So imagine we get the cue card. Describe a piece of art you like. You should say what the work is, when you first saw it, what you know about it, and explain why you like it. So let's have a look. The answer we can start with is, the piece of work that I like the most is Sunflowers by Vincent van Gogh. I first saw it when I went to the Van Gogh Museum in Amsterdam. What I love about it is. You see? And we're not exactly taking the words from the cue card. Yeah, we are taking a similar structure because it says what the work is. But we're elaborating, and we're saying, well, the piece of work that I like the most is. Yeah? And likewise, with the second part of, the second sentence, what I love about it. We didn't say what I like about it. We made it a little bit more emphatic. We said what I love about it is the fact that we can interpret many different emotions from a single piece of work, or whatever you want to talk about. Now, how would we do this in part 3? Well, imagine we get the question, how has art changed in the last few decades in your country? Well, we could say, the thing that has changed in the last few decades is the concept of art. Nowadays, people consider graffiti as art. The place where this is most obvious is in big cities like New York and London. Just there, I hope you caught the two cleft sentences. We have the thing that has the thing that has most changed in the last few decades is the concept of art. So we had it at the beginning. Then in the second part, the place where this is most obvious is in big cities like New York and London. The place where this is most obvious. Now, using these structures, learning them, and then using them will help you improve your English. And they're almost, because I said before, they're formulaic, that we can apply them and we can buy ourselves some time to develop the real content or the real meat of our answers. And so it's almost like a get out of jail card or a filler, but a filler that's going to give us some points. Let's have a look at those structures again, because I think they are incredibly useful. So we have what clauses. We have the reason why. The reason why I like heavy metal, or the reason why I like electronic music, or the thing that I like most about my hometown. These are all very useful. So make sure you're writing these down. The next one, the person who influenced me most when I was a child was probably my economics teacher, Mr. Sykes. The place where I feel most comfortable is in my garden, in my hometown, in the hammock, for example. Or the time when I felt most confident, or the time when I felt most nervous was just last week, actually. And hopefully there you'll have heard some other devices that we're incorporating. So these structures, they can be really useful. They can really just help you pick up the points. And as I said before, I believe they're quite straightforward to learn. And they're formulaic, so we can apply them to any situation. And really, I would start trying to use them in your everyday conversations straight away. That way you're more likely to remember it. And also, why not practice a few task 2s or look at some task 3 answers and try and incorporate those phrases into your speaking practice and into your everyday speech. For the second part of this tutorial, I'm going to play you a recording by a student, and this is a part 3 sample answer. And like we've done before in the past, if you can guess the accent, if you can guess the country where this student is from, probably by their accent, I hope, then send us an email, tell us, and for the first 5 correct answers, we'll give those correct, the students who answered correctly, we will give them a free essay correction. And by the way, there's other ways to get essay corrections, obviously at the site. Just a word of warning. Before we jump into this, it's not a word of warning, but I would like you to be aware of these cleft sentences and emphatic structures that I've intertwined into it. So the first one is, it's in the middle of the sentence, and it's, however, the piece of art I love the most would most definitely be, by far, the English artist, okay? And so on. So the piece of art I love the most would most definitely be by the English artist, okay? The next one is, the place I saw it was on the internet. The third one was, let's see, the reason why I like it so much is because, you see, so I've used exactly what I've been talking about before. These are included in the text, and if you need to see these just to help you memorize them, remember that in the IELTS podcast apps on the Play Store and on Apple iOS, the App Store, you can download our own IELTSPodcast.com app, and you will get sent directly to your phone the transcripts for each episode. And this will be really helpful, especially for exercises like this, where you can just read along, circle, underline, and really just get involved. Okay, so let's listen to the recording.
Well, to be honest, I must admit I am not a massive art fan. However, the piece of art I love the most would most definitely be by the English artist called Banksy. He is quite a mysterious and secretive artist, yet he's reached global stardom. I should mention that I haven't actually seen his work in real life. The place I saw it was on the internet, if I recall correctly. What I know about it is that last year this specific piece of art was put up for auction in London, and at the exact time it was sold, it started to self-destruct. Hidden inside the frame was a shredder, and the artwork dropped through the internal shredder and was pretty much destroyed. The reason why I like it so much is because this was a truly unique point in art history. Nothing like this had ever been done before. I think the artwork immediately shot up in value after this incident.
So if you managed to guess where she was from, that is perfect. If not, no worries. I don't think it's going to influence your IELTS score that much. But if you, well, it might do actually, because if you don't guess where she's from, then you won't get that essay correction. Anyway, that's besides the point. What I wanted to say just before we finish is that if you're having any struggle If you're struggling with your IELTS, if you're having any problems with it, then get in contact. We can help you. It's what we do day in, day out. It's what we've been doing for quite a few years now, successfully. That's why we're growing. That's why we've got a new SE corrector on board. And it's just what we like doing. We enjoy helping students pass. We enjoy helping them improve, and we enjoy helping them improve by giving feedback, by encouraging them, and by motivating them. So if you think that you benefit from this, then get in contact. We'd love to hear from you. Have a great day and keep on preparing for IELTS. All the best.
Thanks for listening to IELTSPodcast.com.